High-end radio, nigga.
On the Siccness Network.
High-end radio, you're on the air. Who's this?
What's up, man? This is GT. Guy Torry in the place to be.
Guy Torry in the place to be.
What's up, big homie?
Not St. Louis own.
St. Louis's own, man. You know, H.E.R 314 St. Louis Mo.
Say it again, then.
Yeah.
Say it
314
again.
St. Louis Mo. You know how it is, STL, baby.
Let me tell you something about my man.
Yeah, break it down for me. Hey, break it down. I want to know if you know who the hell I think I am.
Yeah. Now, who the hell you think you is?
Yeah.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down for y'all.
You supposed to be, hey, this is my man. You've seen him in American History X. You've seen him in the movie Trippin'. And he got his start in Don't Be a Menace. You see him as the host of Kings of Comedy Tour. Welcome to the microphone. Welcome to the interview, Mr. Guy Torry. That's how you start an interview, man.
Yes,
Man, and a concert.
What's up, man? What's up, fellas? What's up?
What's going on?
Top of the morning, loved one. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. We deep into it already too. Feel like it's almost over, man. I've been on the road most of the New Year, so it's still brand new to me, man.
Still brand new to us as well, man. We definitely appreciate your time coming on Higher Radio, man. So what's been up with you currently, man, and what you got going on the road?
You know, I'm touring. I always tour, man. I've been touring, for 24 years now, man. Just doing the stand-up, working out the act. On the road 35, 40 weekends a year, man. So, my home life ain't the greatest. That's why I live by myself, because I'm never home in the first damn place. But, there's a lot of people out there who need to laugh, man, especially in these times, man, these crazy-ass elections.
Yes,
so
sir.
people need to laugh and take their mind off of this world that we live in right now, man.
Exactly, man. A lot of comedians out there getting that money and make a room, man. What you think about all these roles Kevin Hart be getting, man? How come you ain't in some of these roles?
Hey, man, it's time, dude. I had my run for a minute, man, and I'm going to the second phase of my career where I'm getting the older roles. But Kevin Hart, man, if they gonna pay him that money, get that money. Kevin works hard. He's talented. He put in the work. Surround himself by good people. He's smart. So if they gonna give it to him, take it. I tell him, Steve Harvey, they in everything. Take that money.
Exactly.
Check this out, guy. I want to ask a question since we speaking on different roles. As we were doing research, it's funny because one of my favorite movies that you were in was American History X.
Yeah.
Your role in that movie was so dope. It was crazy. How did that role even come about, and your thoughts and opinions of that movie itself?
Wow, that's a great question. It's funny how I got that role, man. That role came of, I always say karma, which God creates that as well, So it wasn't meant for me. That role was actually meant for another comedian, a legendary comedian, a guy that I look up to, but the reason that they saw me on stage, like my subject matter, like my look, and I'm sure I was a lot cheaper, so they ended up giving me the role. Yeah. So, it was cool, man. At the time I did the movie, man, I didn't know the magnitude of it. I didn't know the significance of it, man. I knew, when you in L.A., man, you knew you got to pay your rent, man. Black people know how to act all day long. We know how to turn it on. But what it did was it introduced me to Hollywood as a dramatic actor. And I didn't know who Ed Norton was at the time, but when I started working on the movie, I knew he was such a phenomenal actor. I was like, wow, this dude is dope. So I started learning from him. But at the same time, man, I said, let me see what I can bring to the table. And that's what the director wanted from me. He wanted my realness. He wanted my authenticity. And he just wanted my raw, natural talent to bring that to the role rather than some polished, rendition of a prisoner. He wanted somebody who could break this character down and make him laugh and make him, get rid of all his negative thoughts toward black people, because he was a skinhead. He was a skinhead.
Absolutely.
So my comedy in it and my honesty in playing that role is what helped me secure the role and what helped turn that character around in that film.
You know what's so real life about that movie is we all have people who have had vacations.
Right. Oh, exactly. Most of my friends have been on vacation.
Right. And it's crazy because I look at that movie and I speak to my friends who have been on vacation, and don't take this the wrong way, listeners, but they put it out there and say, hey, if you talk to a skinhead, you'll find out there's more to him than hate. So when I watched that movie, I'm like, this dude is like really peeling away layers, man. So if you haven't seen American History X, people, cop it on DVD.
Definitely.
Or chances are you know somebody in front of Walmart. Make sure guy get his money. It's that simple.
Yeah. Go in Walmart and get it. Don't go get it outside the Walmart. I guarantee you they ain't bootlegging that movie. No, I don't think bootlegging movies around when that movie first came out. But it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that about that film, man, because it's not a week. I mean, that movie is damn near 20 years old, man. Yeah. But people still stop me at least 5 times a week and bring that movie up, and that lets me know that it was a very important film. But what they bring up is the fact that people have done papers on that movie. People have done law enforcement people have stopped me and said, man, they showed us in our law enforcement class, or we studied this in law class. When that movie came out, we did a symposium with skinheads. We invited different groups of skinheads. Right. So what we did was me, Elliot Gould, the director, and a few other cast members, man. And what I found out, man, was that there's white skinheads, there are black skinheads, there are Asian skinheads, there are Latino skinheads, and they're all separate groups. They're not like within the same group. Like the skinheads, the Asian skinheads, they're all Asian. The white skinheads are all white. All black, white black skinheads are all black. And they all have different views of why they feel, why they feel that they should be a group and separate from everybody else. Funny thing about it was when we were filming the movie, the director and I got together, and we actually called up a skinhead. So they had skinheads, real skinheads as consultants. Make sure they got tattoos right, make sure they got, verbiage right and things like that. So we called one up. The skinhead dude didn't know I was on the other line. So the director asked him, somehow we was trying to find a scene in the movie. My director and I were trying to make my character, Ed Norton's character, bond a little bit more. So we started talking. And we came upon the word nigga, the N-word, right? So I'm like, wow, to be honest, I don't know what the definition of a nigga is. I'm supposed to be one, but I don't know what the definition of it is, right? So he said, well, let's call some skinheads up as consultants in Orange County, California, and see what they say. So I'm on the phone. The director said, hey, this is Tony K from the director of, it was called Two Brothers back then. One called American History X. They changed the name. So this is the director of Two Brothers. What's your definition of a nigga? So the dude said, hold on a minute. So I'm taking notes. I'm like, well, damn, maybe he had to go look it up in the skinhead dictionary.
Oh, my God.
So he came back and was like, okay, it's someone who's worked where they belong. I'm like, well, damn, black people ain't the only niggas then. So then he said, well, do you think all black people are niggas? He said, no, only some of them. I said, okay, you only part-time racist. You only hate niggas on the weekend. We came up with a bunch of stuff, and that's how we came up with a bunch of scenes for the movie, with me putting the sheet over my head and singing that song, and makeup sex and all the other stuff. A lot of the movie was ad-libbed. The whole Lakers Celtics thing was really ad-libbed because I'm a diehard Laker fan. Ed was a diehard Celtic fan, so it's really like roll the cameras on, let's just vent about each other's team. So, that movie was important in so many ways, man, but it paved the way for, for me in Hollywood, and really crossed me over.
It actually made me read Mein Kampf.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it did, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, salute to you on that, man.
The road life comes. Eddie,
right.
Martin, so many other great guys. Bernie Mac.
Miguel Nunez.
Miguel Nunez.
Yeah, Anthony Anderson. I mean, that movie was incredible, man, because, something happened in that movie that you don't usually see. And that movie had all these brilliant comedians and brilliant actors come together. Ova Babatunde, Sabaka Henley, Britt Jennings, man. I mean, Sister Tyson was in the movie. She got completely cut out, but she was in the movie. So you had such a great cast, man. And what ended up happening was Eddie on the first day told the director, let them go. He let them go. Let them. I trust him. Let them. He wasn't like he didn't think we was gonna bring the funny. He wasn't threatened. He knew we would raise his game. So he let the director, gave us the green light, kind of bring whatever we want to. And you don't get that in Hollywood. You get actors or comedians who are insecure. They want to hold you back. And they don't want you to shine, or they're scared you're going to steal their thunder, rather than say, hey, we elevate each other. So, that's what ended up happening with it. So, I mean, so much respect for Eddie Murphy, man. He made sure we were taken care of on the set, that, we didn't get, disrespected, by the white crew and things like that, because there was some shenanigans going on behind the scenes. So, I mean, much shout out to credit to Eddie Murphy, man, and even Martin, man. They were just gracious and allowing us to be ourselves.
That's right. That's right, man. That's good, man. You got laced with a lot of game. So what are you doing now? Like, what's up and coming now? Any roles you got going? Any pilots you got going and coming up?
Shot a pilot the other day, uncut. Can't reveal the network yet, but we just fresh off of that. That's going to be pretty promising. Sound like a round table, set in a barbershop, and we're discussing pop culture issues, politics, sports, the whole nine. I'm currently directing and producing a documentary on Fat Tuesdays, which is the greatest comedy night in the history of comedy that I created back in 1995, where it started a movement, and there was no white comedy clubs doing an urban night dedicated to black comics before my night of Fat Tuesdays on a consistent basis. So I did that, and it had a ripple effect across the country, and other white comedy clubs started getting an urban night. They saw how much money it was making the clubs, but also what it did for me was it gave me a chance to showcase black comedians, because after the riots in 92, the Rodney King verdict, a lot of industry quit going to the black clubs in the black neighborhoods and seeing black comedy. So I went to the Comedy Store, which is on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and said, hey, I want to do a night to showcase some of my friends. They're getting looked over. And I was still new my damn self. I was only in the game for 3 years at the time. So, so I wanted a spot where I can work out, where I can showcase my friends. And Nick Cannon came through there. He was discovered at Fat Tuesdays. A young Kevin Hart was coming through there. Cat Williams. All these guys coming in there in the mid-'90s and the late '90s. And not only was it for comedians, but Shaq would come through, Prince would come through, Denzel would come through, Eddie Murphy's in the audience, Richard Pryor's in the audience, and I was fortunate enough to capture a lot of this stuff on either film or on stills or pictures of them being at that night, being at Fat Tuesdays, and so many comedians have just said how important this night was. Hollywood has not said it yet because they won't, but black comedians really got put on. That's how I got American History X. When they saw me for that role, they saw me at Fat Tuesdays. When Chris Tucker got Fifth Element, they saw him at Fat Tuesdays because they were too scared to go to the hood, to the black clubs, but they came to the Comedy Store on Tuesday night to see him. Tupac would be there on a regular. Snoop, you name it, Dr. Dre, Kanye before he got put on, and Jay-Z. It was like the spot to be in Hollywood, and I wasn't trying to disrespect the black clubs in the hood, but Hollywood just wasn't going down there. And I got tired of seeing, good black talent getting wasted, getting looked over, or not being seen at all. So this night became the night that really kind of started a revolution around the country with black comedy clubs and black comedy.
That's big.
As it should.
That's big, bro. Salute to you for that.
And what it did was spark other rooms around the country. So now black comedians have a genuine A room, a top class room to go and work their comedy out in. Because what people don't understand, like what the white comedians don't have to deal with, or any other ethnicity, maybe the Latinos have to deal with this too, but we're doing comedy in the hood. We're doing comedy in little bars and restaurants where Crips and Bloods are there, and a mama joke can get you killed. Somebody heckling you, you go off on them. You're in the parking lot, they surrounding you. So you're doing comedy under duress. So like a lot of white comedians have to go through that whole thing. So by having a night on Sunset, and a lot of the gangbangers and stuff wasn't really coming up to Hollywood because they know they had to go through Beverly Hills. They know they may get stopped. They got warrants. They got bodies. They wasn't going there. Right. We still had our share of Suge Knights and Mike Concepcions and those guys come through, but they was kind of protected. But the regular guys, they weren't coming. They weren't coming, to Hollywood really at all because they didn't want to get stopped by the police and LAPD because we all know how dirty they are. But anyway,
have you experienced them since you've been out here?
You said what?
Have you had any bad experience with them since you've been out here?
Absolutely, man. LAPD? Oh, come on, man. You stopped on a regular.
Yeah.
I have problems with cops all over, man. Not all cops are bad, but it's just in general, man. I mean, I'm not a big fan. I ain't gonna front.
Okay. There it is. There.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what does the future hold for God Torry, man? What do you?
These nuts? No.
Huh?
He said these nuts.
No, man. It's just going more and more behind the scenes, man. You the more dough and you can be more creative and have more control behind the scenes, man. I think it's time to make that transition from being in front of the camera and going behind the camera. I still respect the acting game a lot, and there's still some roles, that I'll definitely, will do. But, now I'm getting to the point where I can pick and choose. I don't have to do certain roles, and I will not do certain roles. So, yeah, just moving more and more behind the camera and getting my team straight.
Okay, that's what's...
Who you voting for?
Man, the jury ain't in yet, man. It definitely won't be Donald Trump. That's for damn sure. But I want to see what Bernie has to say. He's been catching my ear. He's catching the ear of the young generation too. But also Hillary has some good points too, man. So it's gonna be between those two. Damn sure won't be Ben Carson. Damn sure won't be any Republican. And I don't vote on straight Democratic ticket either. I would vote the best person for the job, whatever it is. But the Republican candidates that's running right now ain't saying nothing I want to hear.
Right.
And I don't trust them.
Not at all.
Tell the folks where to find you at, where to follow you at, man. Your .coms, your Instagrams, all that stuff.
Hey, GuyTorryLive.com, GUYTORRY live LIVE.com. All my social medias are at Guy Torry, GUYTORRY. Look for my signature. It looks like a little Prince symbol, but it's not. It's a GT. That's when you know you got the real deal. Holyfield, all you hookers and hoes know how I feel.
That's simple.
As you should.
High-end radio, nigga.
On the Siccness Network.